An Ontario woman who pleaded guilty to faking pregnancies and defrauding doulas is being sentenced today. 25-year-old Kaitlyn Braun was arrested last March. She faced 52 charges and pleaded guilty to 21. The CBC's Megan Fitzpatrick has more on this case and what's happened in the courtroom so far.
From what we know of it, Arthi, these alleged offenses, some of them are still alleged because she was not found guilty on some of the charges or convicted of them. This all started in 2022 and carried on for several months before she was arrested. She would apparently contact doulas in the southwestern Ontario area, but potentially beyond that part of the province as well. Contact them over social media, ask for their assistance and their support for pregnancy loss, as well as stillborn labor, and in some cases, actual labor that she ended up faking. In some cases, the support was offered over the phone. In some cases, it was in person. The doulas would go to Kaitlyn Braun's home for days at a time, and she would tell these doulas that she had become pregnant as a result of sexual assault. These doulas felt sympathetic for her, compassion for her. She had told them she had no support from friends or family, and so in some cases they offered their services for free. Now, there are different stories with the different doulas in terms of what played out, but eventually some of these stories sort of fell apart and the circumstances were so suspicious that the doulas started warning each other in the community about a woman that was faking being pregnant. Some reported it to police, Arthi, and they did begin investigating, leading to her arrest in March of 2023. They did lay 52 charges, a range of offenses, including sexual assault. In some instances, she allegedly coerced some of the doulas into giving her massages. She also was charged with harassment and fraud charges as well. In December, she pleaded guilty to some of them, not the sexual assault charges, but she did plead guilty to some of the other charges. It is expected today in court that the Crown will drop the 31 charges that she did not enter a plea for. So today, she is in court as part of the sentencing hearing for the 21 charges that she did plead guilty to.
And now, Megan, what have we heard from Braun herself or the victims, if anything?
We've not heard anything from Braun herself other than when she pleaded guilty in court in December. As for the victims, we are hearing from them right now in court. As part of the sentencing hearing, they have the opportunity to deliver victim impact statements. And so they are telling the court what impact these offenses had on them. And they're talking about the trauma that they experienced at the hands of Kaitlyn Braun. Some of them saying they are fearful. And now when they try and get new clients, they have trust issues. They are afraid this will happen to them again. Some of them talking about the financial impact this had on them, the money that they lost. In some cases, Kaitlyn Braun was supposed to pay them and never did. And in other cases, they offered to work for free under false pretenses, it turned out. And some saying in court, Arthi, that she spoke directly, one of the victims, to Kaitlyn Braun, saying to her that her actions made a mockery of people who really do experience pregnancy loss and stillborn labor. And she told Kaitlyn Braun, it's because of people like you that real victims of sexual assault are sometimes afraid to come forward for fear of not being believed. Some of the doulas who are speaking in court right now saying that the trauma has physical effects on them as well, that they are stressed, have anxiety, depression, trouble sleeping. So a range of impacts here. They're saying these offenses had on them and on their families in a range of ways. So the victim impact statements are ongoing today. Not clear if we will get an actual sentence directly from the judge in this case today or if that will take another hearing, Arthi.
That is the CBC's Megan Fitzpatrick.